Roblox is a platform that hosts millions upon millions of games. With this comes a ton of variety, open world games, horror games, prison escape games, gambling games, and so much more. But with this incredible amount of games to play, some great ones get lost in the shuffle, and today I set out to highlight one of them. This is the Hidden Gems of Roblox, Episode 1, Detriment. Before we begin, let's go over some background info. Detriment is a 3D platforming game and currently consists of a 4-level demo of the full game, not including the tutorial. Even though the game lacks much content, it's still an incredible playthrough and is also in active development. Now with that out of the way, let's take a look at the actual game. Upon opening the game, you'll be met with the main menu. You can then click the play button and navigate to the tutorial, which will be the only stage you have unlocked. The tutorial immediately begins to teach the player the fundamental controls of the game, starting with the air dash, one of the game's central mechanics. The air dash also highlights one of Detriment's biggest strengths, movement. Movement in this game is endlessly fluid and smooth, and pulling off combos of different moves feels amazing, especially when you master them and use them to their fullest potential. After you learn the air dash, you also learn that you can turn midair while performing it, which will also be extremely useful. You then learn the wall and double jumps, two other essential moves. The tutorial ends up with a final test of all the abilities it's taught, and this is actually a pretty fun stage, again highlighting how fun the gameplay really is. It's at this point, at the end of the stage, where the player sees the letter ranking they got. The ranking system really helps to make the game's 4 stages replayable, and it's also super rewarding to get high ranks after playing the stages over and over again, learning them little by little. After the player exits the tutorial, they enter the first real level, A-1. A-1 starts with a cutscene of your character, waking up at 3 a.m. feeling slightly disgruntled, not being able to get to sleep. Our character lives in one of Roblox Studios' default starter houses, meaning that we're a pretty middle to lower class citizen. For context, this game takes place in Robloxia City, a large metropolis with a huge class divide. Robloxia City is led by a government that we don't know much about as of this demo, but considering the fact that there's a massive resistance group called the TCR working against them, they don't seem very trustworthy. We'll learn all about these different groups a bit later. Back to the game, you explore your house until you get to the fridge, where you down a fat Bloxy Cola, getting you drowsy and knocking you out. We then see multiple days of this cycle of waking up, drinking a Bloxy Cola, and heading back to bed, until one day, we run out of Bloxy Cola, and now we're off to the races. Yes, the entire reason the events of this game happen is because your character is a Bloxy Cola addict and you need to find more so you can sleep at night, but I promise the story gets more interesting later. We then enter the first real stage of A-1, Residence Courtyard. It's a pretty basic stage with some easy platforming and an introduction to buttons, which will open doors and other things that you need to pass through to progress. You then reach Residence West Annex, where you can talk to your neighbors and enter this really cool underground shopping area. You then complete a short puzzle where you have to press 4 buttons to open a door, and then you enter a nice stone path with some cheery music in the background. Wow, everything seems so pleasant and nice. I'm sure this will just be a lighthearted, grand old time. Anyways, you do some more platforming until you reach the end of the stage, where you meet Jarvsky. Now, this guy's fine, he isn't super nice, but he isn't terrible, and he's definitely not the worst we'll see in this game. Although he does kind of bully you over your Bloxy Cola addiction and the fact that you're a lower class citizen. He's overall just your average depressed janitor, he isn't very important. After leaving Jarvsky, you enter what is by far my favorite stage of the game, A-2, aka Fluorescent District. After the first platforming section of moving platforms, bounce pads, lasers, and saw blades, you jump down a garbage chute, like any rational person would do. and the objective of the first stage of the district is to get to 4 control panels to open a massive gate. Assisting you with this is a new ability, Ghost Mode, which you can swap in for the air dash at any time. While activated, you move faster, your double jump gets upgraded to a triple jump, and you also get to look really cool. Although there are some downsides, like not being able to activate buttons and other stage elements, and taking double damage from all hazards. Back to the stage itself, it is a feast for the eyes. Canonically, this is where all the wealthy, higher-class citizens of Roblox's city live, with its futuristic architecture signifying wealth and status. Massive glowing signs and lightning-fast bullet trains litter the landscapes, along with tall neon skyscrapers that seem to touch the clouds. As for the actual gameplay, it's fantastic. Ghost Mode is extremely fun to mess around with, and makes getting around the stage addicting in and of itself. Each control panel has its own little challenge to overcome to activate it, making each one feel unique and fun in their own way. You can also get hit by trains! After you unlock the gate, you can progress to the next section, Resources Site, a storage area for massive companies of the district, which is a more traditional platforming section, but is no less fantastic. You then enter the final portion of the district, an area similar to the beginning of the stage, with my favorite part being this tower you climb up, where you smash this massive crate open to progress. Rest in peace, crate, thank you for your service. You then finish off the district, unlocking another ability, Air Kick. It works in a similar way to the Air Dash, but it gives you more distance and can be used again after hitting a wall. However, you can't maneuver in midair while using it. With that out of the way, you enter the penultimate level, A-3, where you enter a very nice pathway. And then massive red crystals burst out of the ground, the screen starts to turn red and glitch out, and you narrowly escape death by air dashing to the end. After this, you walk into a similar area filled with these red crystals, as well as, I don't know, a floor littered with dead bodies. You then see a body flying out of the sky. You know, when that happens. You approach this body to find a new character, Merc, who somehow survived a fall from a multi-story building. All you need to know about him is, I hate him. His character bio tells us they start from nothing in downtown Robloxia City, just like our character, until one day he stole a rare limited item off the body of a business entrepreneur who had just been jumped and killed, which got him into the limited trading market, already showing to be a pretty awful guy. This wealth and status he gained from trading would turn him narcissistic, pessimistic, and rudely sarcastic, with him belittling the citizens of downtown Robloxia City for their lower class, saying they're the one thing holding back the city from becoming the great metropolis he knows it can be, especially after he opts in to be relocated to the Fluorescent district, one of the main living spaces for the wealthy. So yeah, not the best partner to have in this sort of situation, you know, where everyone's dying from mysterious red crystals with no explanation, but you take what you can get and have him tag along with you. You and Merc run into a nearby building, barely avoiding more deadly crystals, with your plan being to get to the Fluorescent District train station to escape the city. In this new location, you're nearing the end of the demo, where you're taught the last mechanic of this game, combat. Now, this game's combat isn't super in-depth as of now, with the only move being a basic punch, as well as an air punch you can perform by attacking in mid-air. As of now, you use attacks to break down wooden barriers and finish the last platforming section. This leads you and Merc to an unassuming small room, with nothing but one of the many bodies you've seen thus far. Merc's greedy ass once again attempts to steal rare limiteds off of a dead body, but this time he isn't so lucky. Instead of dying from the crystals, this person was transformed into a bloodthirsty monster. Merc runs away and leaves us to take out the zombie in this game's first mini-boss. The fight isn't too difficult and goes down pretty quickly. All of the enemy's attacks are easy to read and avoid, and the player's punches are more than enough to melt their HP. After beating the boss, you unlock the last ability of the demo, Chair Spin. This ability allows the player to bounce off walls in an office chair at high speeds. However, this ability has little to no practicality. Anyway, you meet back up with Merc and enter the last and hardest level of the demo, A-B. You and Merc make it to the train station, seeing it completely empty, which is news to Merc, as usually the station is packed with people. You also just casually see, I don't know, the mother of all crystals hanging from the ceiling. Right after you and Merc finish marveling at its beauty, a giant enemy drill bursts out of the ground. The drill is revealed to be controlled by the last character of the demo, Dr. Disrespect. Vance. Yeah. Vance isn't debatably a good guy like Merc. He's a member of the rebellion against the Robloxian government. Merc says he'll file a complaint about Vance to the government, which really pisses him off for some reason. Vance then does some yapping about how he hates all the people of the Fluorescent district before attacking us with the drill, starting the first boss fight, the player versus Vance's drill, the SDV-VX1. This fight isn't very hard, but is very fun. Vance uses a variety of different attacks against the player, such as a charge attack, poking out of the floor, a massive laser spinner, homing missiles, and launching out of the ground, which will temporarily stun Vance, allowing the drill to be vulnerable to attacks. This fight really shows how you don't need super complex combat to make a good boss battle. In games, it's usually good to have a small palette of a few mechanics at a time. Of course, there are very good exceptions to this, but this fight nails that principle and makes the fight extremely fun in a simplistic way. After beating Vance's drill, he uses his rocket boots to fly out of the station, leaving you and Merc in the dust, ending off the Detriment v0.5 tech demo. Even though Detriment is nowhere near being complete, it's still an incredible game. It boasts vibrant, beautiful levels, well-designed gameplay, and fun abilities. Even though here I've explained the game on a surface level, there is still so much in this game to discover. So please, do yourself a favor and play this game. It'll, as always, be linked in the description. And with that, we've reached the end of the first episode of the Hidden Gems of Roblox. Here's hoping that I'll be able to cover even more incredible games in the new year. I've been Ace Roblox, signing out until the next video. Happy holidays and have a happy new year.